Yes, people, welcome back to Unplugged episode 5. Today we have a very special guest, Madam X. How are we doing?
Great, thanks for having me. How are you?
Good, thank you, very well. And you've come from Athens today, is that right?
Yeah, I flew in just for this, especially for this.
Especially for this.
Yeah.
And you're playing this weekend somewhere in London, are you?
Wow, you just gave it away. Yeah, no, I'm playing this weekend at How Pride
Very nice.
at Colour Factory with a bunch of other nice people. So
Amazing.
What's the lineup?
Fire Dread's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds of Sunny is playing. And you've put me on the spot and I can't think of anyone else.
Is it more like, what kind of music is it? What event is it?
I have no idea.
It's all good, it's all good. Well, we'll start off the conversation with digging into like what inspired you to get into music and into DJing and your journey from the beginning.
Oh God. Where do I start?
Let's go from the beginning.
Like from the embryo?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess, like, long story short, I was always into music and playing instruments when I was a kid. And it wasn't until I sort of went raving and saw Shy FX for the first time at like the age of 15 that I sort of fell in love with dance music and electronic music and felt kind of like the visceral reaction of just feeling all those like broken beats and bass heavy subs like running through your body. And I had this sort of like epiphany moment where I just got obsessed with it, and I've got a bit of an addictive personality anyway. So when I like something, I start to like really intensely like it, and I just went through this like just down the rabbit hole of like bass music, grime, garage, dubstep, and just haven't really stopped since. So yeah, I'm still very much in it.
When did you start DJing?
I started DJing when I was about 17, 18.
Were you self-taught? Was someone else teaching you? Like,
So
did you have
I-
a friend that DJ'd?
So I didn't actually have any friends that DJ'd. What happened was I was at school and I was always battling, like, you know when you have house parties with friends and everyone's got their iPod on and you're kind of like in the living room and you're sort of
Aux
having like...
Wars.
Yeah, aux
Wars.
wars.
I love
And
that.
I really felt like I wasn't allowed to put my iPod on because all the guys wanted to play Pendulum and like DJ Hazard, and I felt like I wasn't being heard, you know?
Yeah, no.
And it was kind of like it's kind of like me being the stubborn person I am. I was like, well, if no one's going to listen to me here in this arena, then like they're going to listen to me in another way. Like I'm going to one up all the lads at my school and learn how to actually mix properly and show them that my music taste is better, because I was never allowed to put my iPod in.
Wow.
Because, you know, gender wars, I guess. Yeah, cut
So
long
you were
story
like,
short.
you have to listen to me now.
Yeah, I kind
I'm
of
on
did
stage.
it. Yeah, I kind of did it. Well, also because I remember like just loving, I still do, I love raving, and I just wanted to learn how to do it because I felt like that's the way to learn, right? Like,
Yeah,
if you love it, then you also want to learn how to do it.
for sure.
I guess like that, wanting to be taken seriously for my music taste was one of the reasons why I did it, but also just because I loved it so much. I loved raving, and I wanted to be able to be that person that gives people the same experience that I was feeling on the dance floor. And I started by learning sort of music technology at school. I kind of like did a bit of things on Ableton. I was making weird little bootlegs and weird edits of tracks that sound fucking horrible now if I listen back to them.
But they're somewhere.
But that was sort of like the gateway into digital and
Nice.
learning how to do more club focused things rather than like playing guitar and being in bands and stuff like that.
And this is all like before university, or this is before you went to Manchester? Because I know you have a big association with Manchester.
Yeah, it was before I went to Manny. I had like a gap year, and I spent about the first half of the year going to a music technology school and living in London in my friend's house with her family and working 3 jobs back to back to back and probably sleeping about 3 hours a night.
No way.
Because I would wake up, go do the morning shift at Topshop, then I'd do the afternoon shift at Urban Outfitters, and then I'd go and work catering for like a temp company where they text you and they say, can you do a shift tonight? And you're like, yeah. And I was just doing everything I could to basically put myself through music college, work on minimum wage and buy turntables.
Wow.
And then go travelling, because obviously that's you've got to do that. And
Hats off to you. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I think actually having those early experiences where you're literally also you're 18, so you have like crazy stamina. I wouldn't be able to do that now.
Yeah.
But I think having that experience where you're working in retail and people are taking their job and their positions of like managerial roles and their positions of power like so seriously, to the degree that you're like, it's really not that deep, really I think motivated me to do this as a career, because I didn't want to be ever in that situation again, working in retail or doing something I didn't like doing, and kind of like asserting like dominance on like 18-year-olds. Like I really found that whole dynamic really toxic and horrible to be working in, where you have people who are in their mid-30s, lost in life, basically just treating you like shit because you're 18 and impressionable and just sort of trying to be here temporarily to make a bit of money, you know? It was really, it was the thing that made me go, I never want to do this ever again, I'm going to make it, kind of thing.
So you chose music and that took off when you were in Manchester?
Kind of, yeah, but I don't think I ever really saw it taking off until I moved to London. Okay. Manchester's kind of where I laid the groundwork and where I was multitasking with my uni degree.
Okay.
And putting on parties and like club nights and raving, and it's really like what made me the DJ that I am, and like was so inspirational to be around. But I didn't think people were really taking me seriously, or I really took off and started touring until I left Manchester and got outside of the bubble, which was a shame, because I would have loved to stay in Manchester, but I don't really like grey weather
it's true.
and rain.
Do you remember the moment that you were like, okay, no, this is it, like DJing's my job, it's not a hobby, and you could just like put all your focus into it? You weren't working any other side jobs?
I guess it was after I moved to London and I stopped working at a hospitality place, and I was like serving coffee and food, and then it was once I was able to not serve coffee and food anymore, and since then I've not done anything else. So because I'm still doing it, I guess we're still there. Yeah.
So you've been full-time for like quite a while.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And like how difficult is it in the music industry, I guess, to kind of achieve that status, that like not being able to, because we had Denim Audio on last week and he was saying that he's only just gone full-time.
Yeah, it's really difficult, especially depending on where you live and what your financial situation is, like how much you're paying in rent. Like London is crazy.
Hence why you're in Athens.
Hence why I'm in Athens, yeah. And also I think I'd be so much more stressed and taking bookings that I don't want to be taking if I was still living here. Like my expenses, I've got to a position now where it's not in any way, shape or form the same that it was when I was living here. So I can kind of chill out a bit more, and I've saved over the years. And it also depends, like, you know, how you are with money. Like, do you, like, are you the person that kind of like saves, invests, or
it's true,
you know, I never really did any of that stuff in my early 20s. Now I'm in my 30s, I'm trying to be a bit more smart about kind of like, you know, long-term investments and doing other things.
Do you play much in Athens as well?
Not really, actually. Athens is a funny one. There was a great club a year and a bit ago that I used to play at quite a few times, but that shut down. Athens has cool spaces and cool clubs, but they're still kind of like playing catch up, and also the socioeconomic kind of landscape in Athens is so different to the UK. I kind of feel like if I'm taking DJ bookings in the clubs that all of the local DJs are playing at rotationally, I'm actually like taking work away from them, and I don't really want to be doing that. I feel like if I'm going to play in Athens, it'll be once in a blue moon for maybe a festival or a big club, and I'm not going to be like playing 24/7 all the time, because it's not like you get paid the same amount of money in the States or in the UK. So I don't really want to be competing with locals, and also like not giving them work, if that makes sense. Like I don't really need to be doing, like, I think if I'm going to be doing stuff in Athens, I'll be putting on my own events and doing my own stuff.
Cool. And your sound is very like bass heavy. I mean, you came up through a grime and dubstep. How different is this scene now than it is back then, in your opinion?
How different is the scene now? I feel like now people really like edits and like
it's true,
refixes. There's
Yeah,
this
it's true.
weird refix energy and culture sort of going on, and loads of old school grime records that I grew up listening to of kind of getting regurgitated in this really fast paced 200 BPM fashion, and everything's just gone a bit mental, to tell you the truth. It's almost like we've forgotten how to listen and experience music viscerally with our ears and feeling it. It's almost like the way that people are consuming the music has totally changed. Back then I would go to Fabric and I would stay from opening to closing under the leaky pipe in room 2, just not leaving the dance floor, and feeling everything and absorbing all the music from all the DJ sets, and I'd be waiting to hear Chase and Status play Eastern Jam, and or you'd hear one tune on Rinse FM, and you'd go to Fabric just to hear that repeated. There wasn't a forum or a way of knowing what those tunes were, and I feel the art of discovering music and going to watch your favorite DJ to hear that tune has kind of been lost with the way that we just document everything now, and the way that we have phones on the dance floor. It's almost like the intention and the reasons for going out has changed. So I think that for me is the main thing that I've sort of seen happening throughout.
Because obviously TikTok's massively changed the whole dance music scene.
Yeah, and it's even changing A&R meetings and what people want to sign.
Exactly.
If you haven't got a following.
Yeah, if you haven't got a following, it doesn't even matter if your music's good.
It's true.
Even the same with booking agencies. The big mainstream booking agencies aren't going to book someone that no one's ever heard of and put any investment into their mini tour if they haven't got 10,000, a million followers on TikTok or whatever.
It's true. And their social presence as well has now become as a DJ and an artist has become so important.
It's almost like you've got to be good at marketing now, and that fucking sucks.
We spoke about that with Denim Audio. He said that he doesn't enjoy that stuff, but Sir Spyro, he puts a lot of time and effort into creating Sir Hiss, sorry. He puts a lot of time and effort into creating stuff to promote stuff on his Instagram, and it's all really funny.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I have a love-hate relationship with it because I don't want to be doing it. I really feel like I could be using my time wisely on other things.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's the way that the industry is changing, and if you're going to sort of sit there and be bitter about it, then you're not really going to progress. I don't have the luxury of hiring someone to do that for me.
Yeah, it's true.
But I do it, and I do it in a way that's true to myself and that kind of makes sense for me and my personality, and I feel like it's coming from a genuine place, the content that I put out. So and I try and just have fun with it, take the piss out of it a bit. You know what works on the algorithms and you know what doesn't.
Yeah.
And you just put out what you're comfortable with, I guess. Yeah.
It's true, and you've obviously got some solo projects coming up, some new music.
Yeah.
Any content plans of that, or do you want to give us a teaser on the tracks and?
Yeah. Play them. We're gonna be. I can't say too much. I can't really give much away, but you can play them if you want. Or,
we can maybe add them into the edits after for sure. They are the one with Cartridge. I've heard. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, that is an absolute banger.
Yeah. So.
I hadn't, because it's the first time you've been producing. It's your debut EP, right?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
That's crazy.
It's cool. So basically, it's been 10 years of Kaizen coming up this year.
Yeah,
so Kaizen's obviously my record label, and I thought that I should get in the studio and make bangers. Because I feel like everyone's been expecting it. Everyone's waiting for it. And the thing is, I've sort of dipped my toes into production previously. A lot of people don't realise actually sometimes the job that you take being a label manager and doing the A&R in the label, you're actually getting your hand in with the production side of stuff. There's been certain releases and tunes that we've put out. What do I say we, as if there's someone else in
it's you.
It's
all you.
That I've put out where I've really gone back and forth with the artist, and we've rearranged it and we've changed it and we've done that, and up to a certain point you're okay, that actually does fall under the the bracket of being a producer. Like I'm not an engineer, but I can sort of produce, and I do understand a lot of the technical side of things. So I thought, you know, let's have a bit of fun, get in the studio with my mates and people that have previously, including people that have previously released on the label, and just see what we can make. And over the last like year, I've made various other things, like various tracks with different producers, and now I'm going to start putting music out under that umbrella, and kind of use it as a way to celebrate Kaizen turning 10, and also celebrate the artist that I've done it with. And it's been really fun, actually. Like, it's felt really collaborative, it's felt really therapeutic, because actually it was at a time where I felt very lost with the music industry and the way that things were moving, and I just wanted to kind of drown out the noise, and I found that getting in the studio with everyone and just fucking about was so fun.
I can imagine.
And it came, and all the tunes like come from a place of, I definitely play these out, I fucking love them. And all the producers that I've worked with, so for this first EP, you'll hear tunes from me and Dr. Jeep, me and Cartridge, and me and DJing. Like, all of them have said like they would never have made something like this. So it's definitely like a collaborative.
A lot of your influence.
And it has been like a two-way thing, which is nice.
So that'll be an upcoming Kaizen EP. Not yet. The next EP coming out is...
No, it'll be my one first, and then
yours first?
Yeah.
Amazing. So when can we expect that, or no dates yet?
Like, hopefully September. I'm just trying to finalise the masters, which you guys have got now. I haven't tested them. I literally sent them to you today, but I have to go back and listen to them. So once that's done, then I can press go on the vinyl. I need the artwork done for the vinyl, actually. Hoping September.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it's been 10 years, hasn't it, of Kaizen? Yeah. You've had some huge names: Biome, Cartridge, Stylus and Snare. Like, busy. Yeah. And you had a hiatus as well, didn't you, a couple of years ago?
We had pandemic. There was just no point in putting out club music in the pandemic.
Okay. So where do you see it kind of going in the future? You're going to delve more into the production side. How do you see it?
I still see it as like a launch pad for like underground bass music producers to kind of come and use the platform to get their names out and then go on to do bigger and better things. Like, I don't feel I feel like everything that I do, I put out because I really like it. So I don't feel like this pressure to put out a release every week or be putting things out all the time. I only really put out things that I connect with or that make sense.
Do you think you're gonna feature more with your own music on Kaizen?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely am enjoying this chapter of my like artistic career, I guess.
Yeah. Have you been testing them out in clubs yet? You have.
Yeah, they're mad.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like, actually, what I found really encouraging, I played the Lot Radio at the beginning of the year, and I sort of tested a lot of the tunes out then, some of them not even finished, like half done, and I was just testing them out, and I found that when I put the clips up on my Instagram, all the comments were sort of asking for the track IDs on the tunes that I made, so I felt kind of like,
that's really nice.
That's kind of a nice like pat on the back when people are like, what the fuck is that tune? You're like, it's my one, actually.
Go on.
When you did the Lot Radio, you were in Brooklyn, right? And then you did the Madam exercise.
Yeah.
How was that?
So fun. But I did it literally the day after the club night that I DJ'd at. So I had like 2 hours sleep, and then I had to go and exercise and teach people, which was really challenging.
Did you tell them?
Yeah. I was like, by the way, I've just come straight from the club. Yeah.
It was like a intense workout,
It was an intense hit workout. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun though, like really fun, because I've not taken it IRL, like I've not done it in a live capacity. It was all online on Zoom in the pandemic. So to actually have people that you're instructing was like kind of trippy. It's like, wow, there's physical, this is tangible, there's people here.
It's crazy.
It was cool, really cool. And I sort of did it back to back with my friend, and she was DJing. She'd DJ, and then I would teach, and then we'd switch, and then I'd DJ, and then she'd teach, and we were sort of like
getting your breath back while you're DJing.
Relay.
Wow.
It was fun.
So for Madam Exercise, what was the inspiration for that? That was a COVID
Yeah, it was a COVID. There was literally no inspiration. It was just the fact that I was stuck on the island of Crete. Stuck as if like, woe is me.
Stuck.
No, I was I was on Crete having a great time with my sister, and we were living on the island, and all we were doing every day was just looking after the cats that we'd adopted, that we'd sort of discovered and took in, Sakis and Ravas, my everything. And working out, and I had loads of different people on Instagram messaging me saying, how are you staying so healthy, like what are you doing, what's your routine, like you look amazing. And that kind of spurred me to just kind of put out a little poll on my Instagram saying who people keep asking me what I'm doing, do you guys want, like if you're interested, do you want to work out with me one morning on Zoom, like it'll be really easy to arrange, who's up for it. Had all these people replying, so me and my sister set up a little Zoom call, and we had like loads of people from my Instagram sort of signing in, and we did an exercise class, and it was really fun. And then just people kept wanting more, so it was kind of just an organic reaction. And then from there, I just recruited all my DJ mates to put mixes forward for each class.
Wow!
And it sort of became like a forum for ravers to kind of get their like raving energy out via exercise. Because I think also with a lot of these things, like with the apps or the online classes, the music's so whack.
Yeah, it's
true.
And
like even like when you go to these like, I don't want to like name names, but you know, like Barry's boot camp or whatever.
Name and shame.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? You go to these like Rebel One or whatever, and they're playing like just shitty Dua Lipa bangers.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. Oh God, all the Dua Lipa haters are going to get on this, aren't they? Yeah, and they're just playing like really naff records.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Really what I want to hear is like drum and bass or just some high energy club music, like from my community. Going. Yeah, to get you going. So it was really cool. Like I had Danny Rankin from Corrupt FM doing me like a Bashment mix.
No way.
Hudson Mohawk did me a mix. Jubilee did like a Miami bass booty ones, which we did for like the legs, bums and tums.
That's so good.
I think Boofy did like a grime and glutes mix, we called it.
That's crazy.
So yeah, they're all existing on Mixcloud, and if you ever go to the gym and you need something to listen to, you can just go on Madam Exercise Mixcloud and listen to them, and yeah, they're really good. I still listen to them when I'm in the gym.
It's such a good idea.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer actually. I don't know why someone didn't do it before.
It's true. Would you ever bring it to the UK? Any of the
yeah, definitely. Yeah? Like we have done more classes. I did one at Eon Festival, which was really fun.
Oh, in Albania?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were there, weren't you, Amy?
Yeah, I didn't attend, sorry.
Motherfucker.
I was probably, what time was it?
It was really early.
Was it?
It was like 10 a.m.
Probably asleep.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll let you off.
Next time. Yeah. Are you at Ion again this year?
No, I'm not. I've done it 2 years in a row, so I think they had to maybe book someone else's.
Yeah. What did you think of Ion as a festival?
Love it.
Yeah.
What's crazy actually is how much that site has transformed in the space of a year. Because when I was there the first year, there was maybe like one family restaurant or like 3 restaurants and like 2 hotels. And then you go the second year and they've like, the driving route, they've like dug up the tunnel under the mountain to make access to the site easier.
Wow.
And there's all these new hotels that have propped up.
Yeah, even last year, like there's loads in development.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because they're sort of, you can see how it's impacting the local community and
positively.
It's in a positive way, like people are getting jobs from it, so it's cool because I think that site is used for other festivals as well.
Yeah. Carla, a couple others.
Yeah, and it's great, like really I love that festival, and I love the staff and the way they run it. It's such a nice festival. I love it.
What is your favourite festival?
Oh god, I don't know.
So many.
There's so many.
Pick a few. What's one that really holds a special place in your heart?
Secret Garden was like early years, like was a great one. Like obviously Glastonbury, but like
yeah, Everett's DJ's favourite festival for sure.
I mean, Outlet Festival back in the day, like in Croatia in Pula, like the early years of Outlook, and you'd go and you'd just like hear all the sickest dubstep with the main in the fort, like
DMZ as well,
and like loefah in the moat, and you're chunky, and you're just like sick. Probably that.
Because you're playing Outlook this year, right?
Yeah, it's a different site though. Like they moved it. Yeah, so it's sort of,
yes.
It's
in the Garden this year. Is it in Croatia?
It's in Tisno.
Tisno, yeah.
And they've done it there a few years now, and I think other festivals do it there. Yeah, I'm not sure why they moved. I think probably some sort of...
Because you were quite close with Swamp 81 and Loefah. He was quite influential in your career, I guess. How are you?
Massively.
Still very in contact?
Yeah, I call him all the time. He's like my uncle.
Because it started off as a subsidiary to Kaizen, didn't it?
Yeah. So the reason Kaizen even got up off the ground was because Lo literally like handed me what's the word I'm looking for? Like a what's the magic wand?
Magic ticket.
He handed me a golden ticket. He literally came to me and was like, Chunky's been telling me what you're wanting to do, and he's showed me like the music that you're putting out, because I basically said to Byam and Silas and Sarah and Walton, I want to start a label, will you be part of it? And they all said yes. And Lo was playing the tunes at the time, and he basically said, so what's your plan? Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, well, I want to press vinyl and I want to do vinyl only, because initially Kaizen was actually a vinyl only label at the beginning. And he said, well, do you know how to do it? And I was like, no, I've got no fucking clue. I don't know what I'm doing. And he was like, okay, well, like, let me help you. Like, I really like the tunes. I really like what you're doing. Not enough people in our scene are doing this. And no one needs to, like, know that I'm kind of, like, operating it as a subsidiary to Swamp. It's totally your record label. I'll just give you my publishing distribution deal so that it's financed with the publishing distributors. And we can put the Byam record out and you can see how it's done. So he literally like took me under his wing, took me to get it mastered. I saw like them like cutting the test presses, getting it mastered on at Metropolis Studios, and like seeing it all kind of like come to life. And then after like the first and second one, after the first and second release, I'd sort of learnt enough that I could sort of take it and do it on my own. So I sort of just said to Lo, like, thank you for showing me everything. Like, I think I'm ready now. Like, you know,
it's amazing.
Like, the student has like learned the tools. So can I
it's like Master Shifu and Panda and Go Panda.
So I like just sort of like bought all the remaining records, paid them back for everything, and then went off and sort of like kept operating it. Yeah, but like without Lo like giving me that lifeline, I probably would have got off the ground, but just at a much slower pace, I guess.
Because you also had an NCS show for 6 years.
Yeah,
that was amazing. You had some crazy guests on there.
Yeah,
really
Sicaria
good support.
Actually, like I think first time they ever came on NTS was on my show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And like the support you had from people playing up the tracks and from Kaizen, like the likes of big DJs. When you see that they're playing out your tunes, how does that make you feel?
Gassed. Even the other day, I heard Pearson Sound play the upcoming Dr. Jeep, and I was on the phone to Josie J. Carter at the time, and she was in Rinse FM because she'd just finished her show, and she was talking to me, and she went, oh shit, Pearson Sound's playing Dr. Jeep, and I was like, what? And she like, put the phone up, and she was like, yeah, he's doing it right now. I was like, get off the phone and go and video it. And she was like, oh shit, sorry. So that was really cool, like hearing that live. Like I still get gassed when like my favorite DJs play that stuff. Yeah, it's it's so encouraging, because ultimately it proves that what you're doing is at least resonating with the right people. For sure. Obviously, like, you shouldn't be doing things. Well, I don't believe that you need to be doing things for other people, or like, you know, for a cosign of anyone else. Like, just do something that feels right for you. But it is always nice to have that like cosign sometimes.
For sure.
You know.
And Jay Carter's a good friend of yours as well.
Yeah, that's her bike actually.
That's Jay Carter's bike.
She's at Glastonbury right now.
Let's hope it doesn't get nicked.
I nicked her bike.
Did you want to go to Glastonbury this year?
I have a love-hate thing with it. I love it, but I really, like, I've got gigs this weekend and I've got stuff that I need to be doing. Like, I'd love to be there, but it's just, like, yeah, I just, not right now. maybe another time. It's so tiring.
It looks intense.
It's intense.
It looks intense.
You've got to be, like, ready for it. Like, once you're there, it's great. But I just wasn't even, like, I had to move out of my gaff in Athens this week. I've been doing a lot of live stuff. Like, I'm just not mentally there.
Sometimes you need that time.
Yeah, I need the year off.
So, sorry, have you moved into a different house, or just to move back to London? You've moved?
Just back in London for like the next 3 months. But I did have to like move all my things out of my apartment in Athens, because I'm moving to another place in Athens when I get back.
Oh, I see.
So the last week was pretty intense. Yeah, I'm not.
And you've been touring now for a long time, it seems. So I remember I first saw you in Berlin at About Blank.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the first times I saw you there. That was unbelievable. So
that
I remember
was
when you dropped
a big lineup. Like loads of people were playing, I think.
About Blank. I can't even remember anyone else. I just remember you
because I
dropped.
was just so good.
Yeah, well, that was. I remember me and Jake. We went with our friend and went. Oh, Man X is playing at About Blank, so we went, and it was a bit more techno-y bass.
Yeah.
I remember like midway through, you dropped Street Fighter, and we all just went absolutely mad. And Rough House as well, that tune by Jay Kenzo.
Yeah.
But like, what's it been like touring like Berlin as well? You have a big resonation with that crowd. What's it like been touring in Berlin and?
Every place you tour in is so different, and I can never. People always ask me what's your favorite place to play in, and I can't ever answer that because everything's so different. Like I spent 3 months in Mexico at the start of the year, which was just so much fun, so amazing.
Mexico City?
Yeah, and also just all around. I did like a little mini tour. And I just love Mexican like culture and food, and the people are so amazing, and you can literally just get out the house in the morning and then not go home till like 4 a.m. and not even realize that you hadn't like prepared for the day. It's like so
much energy,
so stimulating. Yeah, it's great, and it really does like feed your soul a little bit. And like India, like I played at like a few times now, maybe 3 or 4 times, and every time I go and play in India, I just find the crowd they're just so grateful that you're there, and they're so present. And every tune you drop, it's like they've never heard anything so powerful in their lives. Like their reactions are always so like, ha! Like I've never seen it's like it's close to like, you know when you see that this is weird imagery. You know when you see like those kids that go to those churches and they perform those like exorcisms. You know those like
what are you watching?
I'm kind of lost it.
You know
oh yes,
like culty stuff.
Yeah, the culty stuff. Yeah.
And they're like having out of body experiences.
Yeah. Okay.
That's literally how I feel like the crowd are sometimes in India.
So they're just
so in it.
It's so taken
really?
aback.
They love it. Yeah. And it's quite terrifying, but also kind of cool.
That's amazing. So whereabouts in India have you toured? Like Mumbai, is it?
Mumbai, Pondicherry, Goa, Delhi.
And will they know
Hyderabad.
the tracks you're playing? Will they know? They really listen to dubstep and
there's
bass.
a really big bass music community out
music.
there, like huge, and it keeps growing every year. Like
it's
every
amazing.
year I go back, the clubs get bigger and the crowds get bigger, and there's like huge community out there.
I think there's been like Keep Hush, India stuff, and Boiler Rooms.
And the guys who do my tours, they're called Crunk, and I think they've also got a Rinse FM residency, because there's like a huge pocket of Indian producers and DJs that are making bass music.
Wow. And touching on Rinse, like what was it like growing up with radio culture? I feel like now it's a bit different. Like you said it was like very important. You'd hear tunes and you go out to Fabric. Like
I'd be there with like a notepad, like trying to like what was the track I do? Like, you know, when you can rewind, or like I'd be there with like a cassette player recording stuff so I could try and listen back. I mean it's totally different now. Like back then you had to record things so that you could listen to them again. Now everything's archived and online, so it's just different. It's not bad. Like I quite like that everything's archived, because I can still listen to my favourite shows, which I do often.
Yeah.
Like I'm always listening to like Hessel show, the Swamp Show.
Yeah.
Like bits and bobs on NTS. Like I like that. There's access to it. And I also quite like the sort of track ID politics. It's quite funny. Like there's always this one guy called like DJ Bigos, who is just like constantly across all the track IDs on the Hessel audio.
Really?
And like it's like he like deserves his own like Reddit feed, or like Reddit.
He's the wizard.
Yeah, he just knows everything. He's great. He's like always across it before anyone else.
But putting the track list straight in.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sometimes there's question marks. He doesn't know every track,
not everyone.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I love that.
You started doing like the Radio 1 Extra residency when you were in Manchester, right?
Yeah.
So I saw that you like covered for Diplo.
Yeah.
And how was that when you got that, like, oh, I get to cover for Diplo?
So that was the first time I did a show on Radio 1.
That was the first show?
Yeah. So I did Run Extra, and then I did like, it was International Women's Day. So they asked me to cover Diplo's slot for International Women's Day for Radio 1, and that was really cool. Like, I remember thinking, like, wow.
Did you feel worried about like the usual listeners that were going to listen to Diplo?
No, because it was all like in sort of Radio 1. It was sort of International Women's Day kind of. The whole programming was women that day, so it was fine. And yeah, I don't actually think that made that much of a difference. Like, yeah, it was cool. I don't really remember kind of thinking there was any issue. I did feel like pressure to play stuff that I wanted to play. Like I was quite stubborn about not playing things that they would expect you to play. Yeah. I was very stubborn about my track list, but yeah, I think that's a good thing.
It's true, it's true.
You've got to stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
And not change and go commercial because you were
or because you have like some sort of vested interest with a particular record label. Like, have you guys seen what Elijah wrote about One Extra?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, he came out recently with
Bristol dubstep.
Elijah from Butters, Elijah
Butters.
Gilliam, who does the Yellow Squares.
Okay.
He sort of came for One Extra on Twitter.
No way.
And now that's kind of like evolved into a Guardian article. And everything he says, like, totally valid. Like, he's saying that they're not representing black music and culture properly, because like they're not. Like, if they were, they wouldn't be playing Chris Brown every three songs, like, you know. So I know what those playlisting meetings are like in that building.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Right, we have to move on to some quick fire rounds.
Okay.
Which are, you can either give a short answer or a long answer, but they're like some set questions we ask every week. So I'll start. We'll alternate, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so starting off with, what is one track every DJ should have on their USB?
Zorba the Greek.
Which one?
Zorba the Greek.
Zorba the Greek. Is that a set ender or is that a big tune?
It's not a big tune. It's just a fucking weird tune that keeps getting faster and faster and faster and faster. And it's like a Greek song from a movie, which was a book back in the day. And Scream played it at a festival once.
No way.
Yeah, it's probably not what you expected me to say. It's not a cool tune at all. But
no, we'll check
everyone should have it on their USB because you never know when you're going to need it.
True.
What's your dream back-to-back and where?
God, there's so many. This is gonna sound like, well, I kind of already did my dream back-to-back. Like, I played loefah at Boiler Room years ago. And that was like that was such a pinch me moment. And like, we were such good friends at the time anyway, and I kept saying to him, like, I can't believe I'm doing a back-to-back with you. Like, I'm literally, like, the fangirl in me is screaming.
Yeah.
He was like, shut up. And I was like, no, but like, this is like a huge deal for me. I was like, I was literally, I can't believe I'm doing a back-to-back with loefah and Boiler Room. Like, I was so, like, you can see when you watch the set back, I'm literally like,
gassed.
I'm so gassed to just be there. So, like, I have played with a lot of my heroes already. Like, even last week or a couple of weeks ago, I played with Pinch at Up to Date Festival in Poland, and they've just uploaded the set online. And I was listening back to that in the gym, like, this is sick. Like, it was just so fun.
Mad.
But people that I haven't played with that I would love to, like Mala, obviously.
Of course.
I love him, like, deeply.
Yeah.
It's just the best. And Ben UFO would be really, really fun. I feel like that'd be fun. And like Batu, I would love that. I just feel like high energy. And Hodge. There you go. That's some good.
There we
Everyone.
go.
Yeah,
Big
just all my peeps. It would be nice.
So you have had countless Boiler Rooms, mixed mags, but of all of them, which has been your favourite set or favourite place it's been?
Oh, okay. First Boiler Room in Bristol.
First Boiler Room.
My like gateway
into,
because that really changed my life.
Yeah.
Like.
Can I put you on the map a bit?
Yeah, put me on the map. And I had all these dub plates that hadn't come out yet, and all these like exclusives, and yeah, I really saw how that totally took my career off, and how I started getting recognition. Like, that really changed my life, actually. And I still listen back to it, and I'm like, oh, it's a cute mix. Like, it is. It's cool. Like, I like it.
I mean, you've had 4 heavy Boiler Rooms? So
I don't know. I've
quite a few.
I did isolation one in my house in London, and then I did the Peru one, and then I did the one with the one with Lowe's Peru. Then I did 4, I guess, 4, but the 4th one wasn't filmed. It was just the festival. Yeah. And that's online, which you can listen to on SoundCloud.
Sick.
That was really fun. I fucking loved that as well, but I still just loved the fact that I did my first Boiler in Bristol with a bunch of people like behind me, and it was so sweaty and it was crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, sick.
What's your go-to closing track?
Currently, Dr. Jeep Assassino, forthcoming on Kaizen.
Yeah.
But no, really, like, it is fucking sick. Like,
it's crazy. I heard it.
You've heard it?
I heard it. It's a crazy tune.
It's got like a dubstep switch.
It does, yeah.
And that was something that we added at the end. Like,
oh, really?
At the end of the sort of like process of putting the EP together, and we were trying to figure out what to do with the second drop. And this is where like the A&R sort of comes in, and the kind of like label management sort of like hat comes, and I was like, can we try it ballet funk? Can we try like a 4x4 beat? Like, can we try this? Can we try that? And then in the end, we settled on like throwback dubstep, sort of like scream and banger.
Yeah,
classic,
that's a great
vibes.
way to sum it up.
And I said, can you try this? And he went home, did his magic, sent it to me, and I was like, fucking that's it. I was like, you got it. And yeah, we've been playing it out, and you just see the reaction.
Yeah.
In the like, you see the reaction from the crowd, and you're just like, yeah, sick, so good, love it. What's
the best DJ you've ever seen live? The best set you've seen as a fan or spectator?
I mean, because I always look back at my early years raving and the things that really like made an impact on me and changed my life. Like seeing Andy C for the first time was pretty amazing.
Do you know who else said that? Sam Binger said that as well.
Yeah.
Sam Binger said Andy C back in the day.
Yeah.
Mad dub plates.
Yeah, he's like 4-deck mixing.
4-deck mixing, yeah.
Sick. Like sick. And you listen to his Essential mix. I still listen to his Essential mixes in the gym, and it's just like,
heavy.
Masterclass. He's sick. Shyfx, amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to keep saying it, but like loefah.
Fangirl's still there.
Literally, loefah Mala. Also, like, there's some really underrated DJs that aren't underrated in our community, but like, I guess aren't sort of like the big sort of festival headliners, but like John Kay. Things that really like changed my life living in Manchester. Johnny Dub, the Hoya Hoya residencies, the Hoya Hoya residents. Kind of Neek.
Yeah.
First time I saw them.
Kind of Neek. Yeah, I remember their Border set is crazy.
Blown away. I literally was obsessed. And then I did a Just Jam takeover and asked them to play, and that was the first time I'd ever met them, and I was again just like fangirling. And they're the soundest fucking guys ever. And then we like started working together on we did like a Bandulu Records BPM night in Manchester. Like, we became really good friends, still really good friends. Yeah, man, like the way that they would play grime music with, you know, like instruments and the kind of the soul that comes into the production, you can see it's like Bristol,
yeah. Those two, Boofy and what's
High Five Ghost.
High Five Ghost. Those are two of my favorite dubstep duos.
So good. Yeah, and we've had some fucking crazy times. I love those boys.
I'm sure.
To bits. They're amazing.
Festival stage or underground club?
Festival stage, underground club. Oh God. I really like Venue MOT is great. I love that. Dalston Den, that little Wednesday dubstep party that happens is really cute. And LDC, yes, there's like a party that happens every, you know it, she's nodding. Holly attends. Holly's a regs.
Holly knows.
Yeah, what those guys are doing on a Wednesday, bringing dubstep into Dalston, great. Ormside Projects, I think is really, really good one. The Cause.
Yeah, Cause looks amazing at the minute.
I love the curation. I love the things that they put on. I like how every time I'm there, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I'm like, which room is this?
It's true.
Like that. Yeah, those ones.
Well, it's been absolutely amazing to chat to you. We're going to have to wrap it up, but it's been a pleasure, and
Thank you so
good
much
luck
for coming
tomorrow.
on.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.